Hello, everyone. So this is a instructional video for the argumentative essay that you are going to be writing in that unit 6, week 3. What I want to emphasize to you that's really important is that you want to make sure that you are, before you ever start to even adventure into writing that essay, that you have looked at every one of these lesson pages and you have watched every video that is in the classroom. Okay, so it's super important. I will tell you that on the 16th, that Monday, when we come back for live session and we have our sessions on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday that week, we are going to be covering argumentative writing. We are going to talk a little bit about Mulan and the Ballad of Mulan and a retelling of the Ballad of Mulan. We're kind of go over those a little bit. I can tell you we are not reading them in class together, but we will cover some similarities and differences. We'll kind of go over that fact ascent that you needed to do here. We'll go over that. Sorry, my phone was ringing. So we will go over that. And the fact assignment is this. So you should have this completed by now if you are getting ready to start that argumentative essay. So what I want to touch on a little bit about the argumentative essay is that as you open up the link here to the argumentative essay, what you're going to find is there's going to be 4 attachments to the Dropbox. One is the outline to help you write the argumentative essay. The other is, and I'm going to click on this really quick. One is the outline. The other is we'll talk about that in a second. The other is the actual assignment itself. And then the 2 readings that you need to have complete for this assignment. So the Ballad of Mulan and a retelling of the Ballad of Mulan. Okay, so those are the things that you are going to need. These are your resources that you need for the assignment. So when we look at the outline, and you already all know what my philosophy is on pre-writing, that you absolutely should do it because it's going to help you with your assignment. The difference for this assignment, however, is that the last time I let you turn in the outline as extra credit. This time the outline is not extra credit. You have the Mulan fact assignment, which is a pretty easy assignment that's worth 20 points that you should easily earn those 20 points on. That's a pre-writing as well. This is going to be used to help you the actual argumentative essay outline. This is to help you write the argumentative essay that you are going to be turning in. The big thing on this is that you are not to turn in this outline at all. I don't need to see it. I don't necessarily want to see it. It's used for you to help write that essay. If you choose to not use it, that's up to you. However, I always can tell who pre-writes and who doesn't. It's pretty much black and white. It's very obvious if someone is pre-writing and someone's not. Every once in a while, I'll have someone who doesn't pre-write and they do a pretty decent job, but it's far and few between. So the pre-writing is for sure a benefit, and I would make sure that you use it. So as you read Mulan, the Ballad of Mulan and a retelling of the Ballad of Mulan, you're going to have to come up with who you feel had the more difficult journey. Was it Mulan or her sister Mu Ying? So your argumentative essay is going to be about which of the 2 had the most difficult journey. Okay. Some of you are going to say Mulan. Some of you will say Mu Ying. There's not necessarily a wrong or right answer. As you go through the argumentative writing process, what we're going to talk about is that part of argumentation is that you just want someone to see your point of view. So you don't necessarily have to try and convince them like in a persuasive paper. In persuasion, you're trying to convince. In argumentation, you want someone to see and acknowledge your point of view, whether they agree with it or not. So with that, you obviously are going to have the basics that we always use. You have the hook, you have the introduction, Your thesis, of course, we've already talked about that. Your thesis usually is naming both of the pieces that you've read. You talk about the author's names, and then you restate your prompt in some way. That's going to be your thesis. It's pretty simple, right? So then you go into argumentation. So basically, this is who do you think had the more difficult journey? Well, you may say maybe it was Mulan. So you're going to pull the fact sheet that you did back in that Unit 6, Week 1. You're going to pull that fact sheet and you're going to be like, okay, I have all these quotes about Mulan, right? You have all these quotes that you can use. So you may use one or two of those. You may not choose to use any of them. You may go back in and find a different fact that you want to use or quote that you would like to use. But in this section, basically, you are saying, okay, I really feel that, except you're not saying I because it's you're not allowed to use first person, but you could say, um, in the journey, Mulan had a more difficult journey. So then after that, then you're finding your quote, right? So you're going back, you're finding that quote you want to use. So if you want to use the fact sheet, that's what you're going to do. Then you're going to come back through and then you're going to explain how you feel that quote supports what your decision is, right? So that's that meaningful commentary and reflection. Then you've got a little bit more meaningful commentary and reflection, right? So in an argumentation, then we have the counter argument. So then we have to be like, okay, well, and if you watch the Schmoop video, one of the good parts of argumentation is, and that gives you more credibility, is you being able to acknowledge that there's a different side. So then we can say, all right, well, you know, I could see why Mu Ying maybe had a difficult journey, right? So your introduction to the counter argument would be, yes, Mu Ying had a difficult journey. She had to stay home and take care of her parents. Then you provide evidence to show how the counterclaim is flawed. So then you can say, however, Mulan was gone for, was it 8 or 10 years, and she was fighting in a war. So that might be your counter argument, right? So that's kind of like your counter argument. And then you have your rebuttal. So that's kind of like your rebuttal is saying, yes, but Mulan did this and that and this and that. And then you have more meaningful commentary for your rebuttal. So we're going to talk about counterclaim, claim, rebuttal. We're going to talk about all of that. So this will be much more clear to you if you are attending that Monday Class Connect and you've watched all of the videos that are in the classroom that you should be watching. And then, of course, you finish up with your conclusion. Okay, so when you look at the assignment, so I'm going to pause again real quick. So when you look at the assignment, argumentative essay with 40 points, keep going with your MLA format. Keep going with the good grammar and spelling. Keep going with all of the third person, no first person, right? Do not want to see any issues with that because we've been doing this for so long now that this should become like you just do it anyway, right? We're just doing all of that. So after reading the Ballad of Mulan and the retelling of the Ballad of Mulan, you are to write a 4-paragraph argumentative essay in which you pick one side or the other. Your assignment must have an introduction, an argument, and a counter argument with rebuttal and conclusion. Please use the outline provided to help you with your rough draft. You should refer to both texts while writing your essay. Remember, this essay is for a completion grade. So this is going to be the hint for you that I really want you to focus on. If you give it an honest effort and you have 4 paragraphs, 4 good paragraphs, which mean not 2 to 3 sentences, we're looking at least 7 sentences per paragraph, right? That's how we flow with that. If you make an honest effort for this assignment, you will receive the full 40 points. No matter if you've kind of messed up counter argument, if you maybe have some spelling errors, maybe if you have some other issues or whatever, if you've given an honest effort, you're going to earn all 40 points, no matter what, right? It's completion credit. If you do not make an honest attempt for the essay, and I get like one paragraph or two paragraphs, whatever it is, you will receive a 0. I will be great. I will be giving you comments on what you have done well and what you need to work on, as well as rating what I think that you would receive on an EOY test. So what that means is when you go in 10th grade to write on your essay for the Ohio State test, you're going to be graded a 1 through a 5. So basically what you will be earning on this test, I will let you know. I would give you a 1 on this. I would give you a 2. I'd give you a 3. I'd give you a 4. I'd give you a 5. And then I would tell you why. Okay. So what I want to do with this is I want to prepare you on kind of what you're looking for if you were to face an argumentative essay on one of those tests. Okay. So with that, you have a very good opportunity to earn 40 points for doing your best. And that's all I want you to do is I want you to do your best. And if I see that you're doing your best on this, you're going to earn all of those points. But if I see that you are just doing it halfway and not really giving me your best, your grade will definitely reflect that, okay? So it's a really good opportunity for you guys to do your best work. And even though if it may not be 100% as you would get like on a grade, you're still going to get a 40 out of 40. So with that, I only want this paper turned in, the argumentative essay worth 40 points. That's all I want. I do not want the outline turned in. This outline is a pre-writing tool for you to use. Do not turn the outline in. The only thing I want to see in that drop box is this, and you begin your essay right here underneath, okay? So I know this is a little bit of a longer instructional video, but it was super important, and I wanted to give you a little bit of clarity on what you would be doing, okay? So with that, if you have questions, please let me know. It is going to be incredibly important that you are in Class Connect on the 16th and the 18th and the 19th, okay? Because we are going to be working through this, and I want to make sure that you guys know where you're at and what you're doing. All right. So with that, if you have questions, So with that, if you have questions, please let me know. And I think you guys will all do fantastic. And you will love Mulan. Like you will love this content because it's really cool. So, all right. Have a great week. And I will talk to you guys soon.